8:07 Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Very busy news day. I want to get right to the Newsmaker hotline. Say good morning to Victoria Coates. You know, Victoria, I'm all about transparency. And so I am looking at your long and incredibly storied history in the world of foreign policy. I mean, I can't even begin to just bullet point one thing, but I will. You were, under Trump's first administration, National Security Advisor for Middle East and North African Affairs. So, I mean, that's where we will begin. But, man, you have been all over the place, and I find it fascinating. Would love to do sort of a longer form interview with you at some point because of all of your experience. And by the way, your relationship with Ted Cruz and how you worked with him on his campaign. But let's talk about right now the situation with Russia and Ukraine. Of course, Donald Trump made his big announcement yesterday. A big deal with Ukraine. It is really a message to Vladimir Putin. And the president is going to send a ton of, bombs and ammunitions and Patriot missiles to ultimately NATO. Then it goes over to Ukraine. And, people are calling this, of course, a big policy shift, which it is. And phase two, which I'll get to in a second, is that he is giving basically Russia 50 days to find peace. I'm going to get into that. But let's talk about the munitions. This is not what Joe Biden did, which is sending all of this weaponry directly to Ukraine with, no cost associated with it. We just gave them the weaponry. In this deal, it is a lot different because it is going from, of course, America to NATO. They are purchasing these weapons, and then they're delivering them to Ukraine.
Well, Dan, thanks for all those kind words. And of course, with me, it always starts with a PhD in Italian Renaissance art history, so we can talk about that someday too. That is real.
Yes.
But with Ukraine, yes, I think the president came back into office hoping that he could resurrect the working relationship we had with Russia during the first term, which was dysfunctional because it's the Russians. But we communicated with them. We met regularly with our counterparts, and Putin didn't invade anyone. That's the key thing. And so the president logically thought maybe we could get back to that. Putin, for whatever reason, I would probably point to his now very close relationship with China, which was not a thing during the first term, is responsive to Washington as he was, and has continued the killing. And as the president said, he would have a good conversation on the phone with him, go back and say to the first lady, I think we've made some progress, and she'd say, well, they just bombed a nursing home. So I think he's at the end of his patience now. I think he's very encouraged by the Hague summit, the NATO summit last month, in which most of our NATO allies, looking at you, Spain, pledged to get to 5% of GDP on defense. That's a huge shift for Europe. That's what he's wanted to see. And he now is going to try another strategy to get to a resolution of the war in Ukraine. So yes, 50 days for Putin to get his acting gear. He's threatening very severe sanctions on countries like Brazil and China and our friend India. So that's something we're going to have to work on. But those countries may now start pressuring Putin to wrap it up. I think that's the strategy there. And you have the shift in the way the aid is being given. It's not being given anymore. It's being sold to NATO. That's a really good thing. And then, at the same time, we're not sending tens of billions of dollars of direct economic assistance anymore either. One thing I would caution, just in closing, is that, we have to be very mindful of our own stockpiles, particularly of the interceptors for the Patriot systems, because we've been firing off a lot of those in the defense of Israel during the 12-day war and in the two engagements last October and April with Iran. So we need to be very, very careful that we're not expending material that we might need either in the Pacific or here at home.
I got to ask, Victoria Coates is joining us on WTN. So when I'm looking at all of this, I think that President Trump, he did show an incredible sign of peace through strength in dealing with Iran. And so now I'm wondering, is this President Trump, as he is giving or selling all of this weaponry to NATO and then on it goes to Ukraine, is this going to be an escalation of the kinds of weapons that we ultimately sell to Ukraine so that Ukraine is in a better position to end this war?
That is definitely the hope. And important to point out that the Patriot systems that are the headliners of this most recent package are a defensive system. And NATO is inherently a defensive alliance. It has never declared war aggressively on anyone. It has only come to the defense of fellow NATO members. And so the notion that the president is doing something escalatory here, I just don't think is accurate. I think he is trying to give Ukraine the capability to defend itself from these Russian missiles. If Ukraine then decides to go and take actions like that extraordinary drone operation they pulled off earlier this year that start to set Russia back a little bit because Ukraine is more secure in its defenses, that would be great. And I'm also not adverse to, in a situation where we're not confronting Russia directly militarily, for them to see how effective our systems are, that there's not much they can do about it. And that was one of the things that I think was most powerful about the joint Israeli-American action against Iran, is Iran was utterly powerless, defenseless, exposed. Their systems did nothing, and we did whatever we wanted. And so having Putin realize that's the power of the United States and NATO might give him some pause if he was thinking about doing this again against a NATO member.
One of the things that I'm going to ask you coming up, I've got to do a quick check of traffic, but one of the things I'm going to ask you coming up is, of course, you know that Russia has this ability, so does China, to skirt our sanctions. And so I'm going to ask you if this time around they will actually be impacted by the sanctions or the tariffs, whatever we want to call them. But first, I got to check the roads on WTN. High today of 93, possible thunderstorms as well. Appreciate you listening to Nashville's Morning News. Victoria Coates is joining us. And so typically Russia in the past has been able to figure out ways around our tariffs or our sanctions, actually, so that they would be less impacted. Is there a way to make sure that these possible 100% tariffs on Russia are actually felt by Russia and they're not able to skirt around them?
There is. And the problem with the package that President Biden announced in March of 2022 is it was filled with waivers. They didn't even need to skirt the sanctions. The sanctions weren't enforced. And Biden's problem was, as he was muffling, I guess is the best word for it, energy production here at home, they didn't want to take all those Russian molecules off the market. And so, not to get too weedy, but one of the nasty little secrets is they encouraged India to buy crude oil from Russia. And India's imports of Russian oil have gone from 1% to 2% of their imports to 40% over the period of the Ukraine war. They encouraged India to import that crude, process it in India, and sell it to Europe as Indian gasoline.
Wow.
They literally, the Biden administration, there are news reports of them doing this during one of President Modi's visits to the United States. So now we're in this ridiculous situation where the Indians and the Europeans are essentially doing some of the financing for Putin's war. This has to end. And so the message is being very clearly sent to India. Unfortunately, there's a precedent for this. We did it with them on Iranian oil during the first Trump term when they said they couldn't possibly wean themselves off of Iranian oil. And they went to zero Iranian imports during the first term because we helped them. We found alternative supply from the Saudis. We found an alternative supply from the United States, and they had barely a blip. So that can be done if you're willing to unleash American energy dominance. The president's going to be in my home state of Pennsylvania today talking about just this topic. He said could be out in Pittsburgh talking about U.S. energy production. And that's how you then bite Putin, because then the Indians aren't buying that product. And then the last piece of this is China, which has a lot of leverage over Putin. And if they think they're at risk of losing either or both the American and European markets over this, they're going to definitely think twice, because those are the two biggest markets in the world combined. They dwarf anything else. That's China's trade lifeline. So if they think that is going to be seriously at risk, they're going to put pressure on Putin to end the war as well.
So what is a What does this look like at the end of the day? Because there's things of Vladimir Putin that have been demanding that there's no way that Ukraine will agree to. And so how does Vladimir Putin in 50 days, if he hasn't found peace on that 50th day, he knows what President Trump did to Iran. So how does Vladimir Putin get out of this? Like, how does he come out with a win?
Well, I think, like any negotiation, this is probably both parties coming out equally unhappy rather than anybody coming out particularly happy. And so there are going to have to be concessions made on both sides. I understand why it is deeply concerning to people to give him any kind of territorial concessions. And my feeling on that is, what the agreement we come to in 2025, that could potentially be revisited down the road under different Russian leadership in the future if Russia becomes a different kind of a country, which it could. So I think getting to a reasonable resolution here that keeps Ukraine, the vast majority of it intact, it permits for Ukraine's self-defense. It permits for a very secure border on the east with Russia. Something like that can be acceptable for the time being, and bring an end to the killing, allow the reconstruction of Ukraine, and hopefully pave its way towards EU membership, which is, I think, more appropriate for Ukraine right now than NATO membership. So there are going to be some parts that nobody likes to this. That's inevitable.
Yeah.
But I do think that most people know what basic parameters of the deal is going to be, and we could actually get there pretty quickly.
Boy, you just mentioned the rebuilding of Ukraine. What does that even look like? Who does that? I know Ukraine probably can't do it. That's going to take some outside construction crews, possibly from United States.
Well, that's one of the things we've talked about with them as part of some of the economic packages after Biden's just provision of dollars, essentially, that this would be more of an investment on the part of the United States. One thing we're going to have to keep a really close eye on, Dan, is any Chinese activity.
Yes. Because
Zelensky has left the door open for that in the past, and anything that has any U.S. participation, there can't be any China. There just can't be. So that's something that we're going to have to make very clear, that they're going to need to use American, Japanese, South Korean, Australian. I mean, there's a menu of excellent construction and reconstruction industry in all of those allied countries, and that needs to be given the vast lion's share of this.
Well, yeah, this is rebuilding Ukraine is tailor-made for China's Belt and Road Initiative, but you're right, we have to keep them out.
Right. And Ukraine needs to be very, very clear that if you go down this road of Huawei and having them build your ports and your bridges and your infrastructure, we can't engage with you, because you then become a security risk. Yeah. And there's no way you could ever aspire to be a NATO member if you do that. So I think the Congress is going to have some views on that as well. So that is a very important message that needs. Yes, we have to get to peace, but that's next up.
All right, Victoria Coates, always great to have you on. Great perspective. Looking forward to having you on again soon. It is 8:21 on Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7. WTN Super Text line is open, 615-737-9986. Joan Jones is in the WTN newsroom. Hey, Joan.
So we'll tell you why some Lebanon school families are asking what happens when they flush. And some new details emerge about a Kentucky church shooting. We've got those stories and more coming up here at 8:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
And so the back of my leg, it's like my left shin, and it's like red and pustular.
It's pussing?
It's like pustular.
It's pustular?
Yeah, pustular.
Go to urgent care, you psycho.
He's using his quarter dime.
Is pustular meaning like it's soon to be pussing?
No, it's not officially pussing yet,
but it's looking
pustular.
Red,
it's looking like it's going to get.
Does it look white in the middle?
It has the potential.
Becoming pussy.
We need it on air. Put your leg on the camera.
That's okay.
Show us that big pussy
Well,
wound.
it's about to be amputated soon because you're not going to go see a doctor. So
I
show us while
will
you have
go
it.
see- I think I got bit by that brown recluse.
Oh,
and
it happens every day. People, you'll be all right.
yeah, like they're trying to convince me that I'm going to like have to have my leg amputated.
But just
Nah, you'll
if
be
it's
all right.
only one leg amputated, you'll still be able to get here for the show.
I've got the other one.
Right.
You can just call me like
One-legged Dan.
So Monty Python, it's just a scratch.
We
Yes.
can get you.
Right.
We can get you one of those scooters.
Yeah, that he puts his leg on. Yeah.
Yeah.
you can do a scooter.
No,
That's,
have a shotgun like in Sin City from that
New
movie.
nickname, Hoppy.
Oppie.
Hop along. By the way, Joan, you and I are being taken to task by 4702.
Oh,
What'd
really?
you do?
Well,
I expect this out of Dan, but not Joan.
apparently, Joan's been on fire today. So, 4702 says, Dan, I know you hear Joan. She's like, ugh. She knows what I'm about to say. You all heard it right there. She knows where I'm going. Dan, you and Joan should be ashamed. KGB was showing general emotions and care for a fellow coworker, and y'all made fun of him. This is a rare quality these days, and you both should apologize.
Oh, that was Jeff's first mistake, actually.
Yeah, well, no, I was playing it on. I don't care if he loses the leg or not.
4702 sent that after the little meme that says, "'Tis but a scratch." So, I don't take him seriously.
Anyway, I'm sure that
Can I
it's gonna
keep
be
the leg
fine.
if you lose it? I'll just put it. I'll just like.
You want my leg? You want to go ahead and like?
well, if I go
mount
hunting,
it,
if I go
send it to a
no, no, no.
taxidermy?
If I go hunting, it'll be a great little bait option for animals.
You know what? If you were going to tell me that you were going to go ahead and put it like over your fireplace mantle kind of a thing, I would totally give you my leg.
I don't like
I
no,
would.
too stinky.
I don't know what kind of animals you think you're going to lure in with a severed leg.
Yeah.
It's
No,
going to be
I'm
it's
going
gonna be a
out-
vulture.
I'm going out now. I'm going. Oh, have you tried vulture?
My brother-in-law hunts a bunch, and he said that down where they checking the animals one day, some guy who had never hunted before showed up with a vulture, thinking it was a turkey.
Are you serious?
And they
Oh,
said
man.
like everybody was having a hard time trying to like who's going to tell him, who's going to tell this
Guys,
poor
look,
guy.
I bagged a turkey.
It's really the meat is really thin. I didn't expect that.
You-
I
you've
can't
actually
remember the
eaten
story.
vulture?
No,
No, but
Oh.
vultures don't have as much meat as a turkey does. Obviously,
I've never been that close to a vulture, like ever.
no.
No,
they're skinny little guys.
who's gets
they're
close
big,
to
but
a
they're skinny.
vulture?
Nature's garbage men.
Have you not drove
right.
by? Have you not like done a run on the street, like go for a run, and then there's a dead animal got roadkill, and there's vultures?
There was
You lost him at. Have you ever gone for a run?
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
there
I
was
forgot who I was talking to.
man. You two.
He doesn't have a leg.
Shut up.
His leg is injured.
He doesn't have one. It's gone in the next couple of weeks.
So anyway,
Rodney says, new name, Stumpy. I like that
Stumpy.
one better than Hoppy. I like that better.
That's a Seven Dwarves name.
so there was a time where I saw a deer hit by a car, and so I was very sad. Thing died.
Light a candle.
Sure, thoughts and prayers to the deer family.
Thoughts and prayers.
But nobody cleaned
Bambi's
up the
dad.
deer. This was on Nonneville Road where I live. Nobody cleaned up the deer. So this is like a big deer. So over the next several days, you watched as the vultures just, had vulture Thanksgiving on this deer. And so
Did they move it to the side of the road at least?
No, it was like off to the side. And so it wasn't in the road. And so slowly but surely you start seeing like deer skeleton.
Oh no.
And it was like,
The circle.
I called
of
my
life.
wife and I'm like, could somebody please take this thing away?
Why'd you call your wife? Well, is your wife gonna do it?
No. She
Amy,
laughed at me.
if I roll the barrel out there, will you help me get it in?
Grab the shovel, honey.
Do you guys remember that story about Amy and what was that thing? Was it a raccoon that she pulled out from underneath the deck that one time? The dead
She
raccoon?
pulled out a raccoon?
a dead raccoon.
What a beast.
Yeah, oh, she's amazing. Like it's the same shovel she tries to hit me with sometimes, but she
Wow, way to just criminalize her at the same time.
She's
she-
amazing. Occasionally, there's some light
Tries to-
domestic abuse.
Tries to kill me with a shovel.
But she always apologizes and tells me it'll never happen again.
That's exactly right. I forget there was a smell.
68 times the charm.
There was a smell coming from underneath the deck, and I'm like, what is that?
And
There's
you
like a-
didn't go down there to check. You had Amy go down there
No,
to check?
just so we're clear, Sam, I'm getting sick. I checked it, but I I have this reflex thing, and I started, like
Gagging.
Yeah, and so Amy gets out the shovel, man, and she gets it, but this thing was like so decrepit,
Disintegrating
that half of it fell off the shovel.
Yummy.
And so, oh my God, I don't know why I'm talking
finished
about
eating your
this.
Cheerios this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Next time a guy tries to sell you something at your house, like a solicitor, just throw him at the dead raccoon at him.
By the way, a guy says you should be talking about buzzards. We don't have vultures in the state of Tennessee. We don't have lawyers. What?
Good one. Except now you just
Ticked off all the lawyers? That's all right.
Good job.
Hey, I brought some content for you.
Oh, okay. Well, real quickly, because I teased Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Yes, you must.
All right. So audio up, KGB. Ketanji Brown Jackson, virtue signaling. Listen.
What keeps you up at night? I would say the state of
What?
That's on you.
Did that just stop?
Yeah.
Yeah, just stop dead.
Hold
in
on.
tracks.
You know what? Her comment was so stupid, it froze the computer.
It destroyed the computer.
All right. Let's try this again.
What is that? You hear that?
what keeps you up at night?
What?
Do you hear that sound? Somebody like
It sounds like someone's on the roof.
Is
that what
somebody
it
up
is?
on the roof?
All right,
Okay,
sorry.
very good. All right, well, let's try this a third
Well, it's like
time.
the timing lined up where like all of a sudden I heard jostling up above us and then your audio cut out, so I thought they might be related.
That's Brown Jack said stopping this.
Maybe we've got Democrats in the building.
Maybe.
Maybe they're up in the cellar where they belong. All right, here we go.
Jesus.
What keeps you up at night?
What is
Stopped
going
again?
on?
Dan.
Is our internet like not working?
No,
It's working. It's working for me.
I
Reload?
played this during the. I'm going to try this one more time.
Third time's the charm. You know that they say that, right?
Yes, they do say that. All right, fingers crossed, everyone.
People with pus.
What keeps you up at night?
Nope.
Yeah.
We can fill in our blanks.
Yeah.
What wakes you up
do
at
it.
night?
Let's do
What
a
keeps
fill in
you
the
up at
blank.
night?
What keeps Ketanji Brown Jackson up at night?
You
In and
know-
Out not being open yet. And
Having to read.
The fact that even Sonia Sotomayor is like, girl, you're crazy.
Yes.
You don't know jack or squat about the law.
The glare that she gets from Clarence Thomas from across the room.
All right, hold on.
I would say the state of our democracy.
All right, so she says that it sounded like she said it's the shade of our democracy is what she said.
Didn't Kamala Harris
shade?
say something similar to that on the campaign trail?
I think she did.
She did.
Actually. The shade of our democracy. Because she has nothing to offer.
She didn't say the state of our democracy. Are you
She's not-
sure of that?
Well,
Play it back.
you know what? It keeps stopping. So at some point in here, she does say the shade of our democracy.
It sounds like every Supreme Court argument she's ever had.
Wait, okay, it keeps stopping.
Oh, the applause. It's so beautiful.
Anyway, what is your content? Because clearly mine isn't working.
All right, so anybody eat microwave burritos?
Oh, yeah.
Microwave burritos?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm a
Survive off
huge
that
fan.
stuff.
I'm a huge fan.
Who doesn't like microwave burrito? I bet you Joan, because she's
Me?
kind of uppity.
No,
I knew
I'm
she
not
would.
uppity,
Yes,
but
I felt it coming too because
That
my
got
wife
me
doesn't
through
like them
college.
either.
You shouldn't microwave most things in the first place, but burritos of all
Well,
things?
when they're frozen, you have to heat them up.
Why
We're
would
not
you
going to eat them frozen, Joan.
Yeah.
Why would you even choose
you-
a frozen burrito?
Because sometimes you got to.
so good.
There's not a lot of money in
Oh,
college,
my
so you have to do what you got to
goodness.
do.
Joan has obviously never been a single bachelor.
Yeah.
I like how
Living
Jeff
by-
says there's not a lot of money in college, and I have a freezer full of burritos. There's no money in radio either.
Yeah.
But
Touche.
Amen
all
to
right.
that.
So what kind do you like?
Bean and cheese.
Bean and but the
Classic,
brand.
the classic.
But the brand.
Oh, I
Kirkland.
can see the. Is it Tina's?
Yeah. All right.
I like
perfect.
Tina's.
You like
Yeah,
Tina's?
yeah, that's what was
All
in
right. You
there.
guys ready for me to ruin it for you?
What?
What are you doing?
Okay.
I'm
This
ready.
This is the headline.
Is this a trigger warning?
This is the headline. Teenage cleaner fatally sucked into meat grinder at California factory for popular frozen burrito brand. And yes, it was Tina's. I can't eat them anymore.
Well, okay, hold on.
How did he get
So
sucked in?
it was. Oh, that happens. That happens all the time.
Is this like getting sucked into the engine of the airplane thing?
I think he's going to be okay.
No.
A teenager was sucked into a meat grinder and killed Sunday when the machine suddenly turned on while he was cleaning at a California factory for a popular frozen burrito brand. 19-year-old victim was working at Tina's Burritos food processing plant in Vernon as part of the after-hours sanitation crew when the deadly mishap happened.
Okay, so I got a question.
How do you clean that out of the meat grinder?
That's what I was going to ask. Like, how do you clean that up?
You've got to get a new meat grinder.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to
I
just
think
scrap
I'm
it.
safe, though, because I only eat the bean and cheese.
I was about to say, Dan's right on this. Bean and cheese is now the only option forever now.
That's exactly right.
Because I like steak, but I don't want human steak.
Authorities rushed to the scene but found the 19-year-old dead inside the grinder.
Oh.
The California Division of Occupational Safety and Health will investigate the worker's horrific death and try to figure out what could have suddenly triggered the meat grinder. Even in California, it's so liberal that the inanimate objects are getting triggered.
There you
Is that a little soon?
Sorry, maybe.
Wait, when did this happen?
Sunday? I feel like we've had enough. There's been a grace period.
Well,
So when you're a human and you get sucked into a meat grinder, like, does it grind you like...
No, it doesn't seem that way. It took them about 45 minutes to break down the machine and extract the mangled body from it.
God.
Imagine that's your gig. You think this is tough?
Yeah, exactly.
You're the guy that gets the call at 3 a.m. Hey, we have a body in a meat grinder, and we're going to need to get you down here.
Oh, there's some sick people there's coroners. I remember hearing interviews with coroners. They're like, yeah, you're so desensitized to this stuff that it just doesn't even matter anymore. You can handle anything.
Yeah, but we're not coroners. We're just human beings.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you do that, that's your job of like handling dead bodies and like taking them off crime scenes.
Like a special. Okay, so you know what's weird to me, or what's happened to me, is there was a particular video that shows up on my X feed. I don't know why, but it was a video of a guy. You know how he offed himself? He jumped into like an airplane engine.
Oh.
He just jumped into they're chasing.
Yeah.
They're chasing this dude all over the runway, and then he jumps into the airplane engine thing,
Tally-ho.
on the wings, and he jumps in, and then it didn't suck him in, it just chopped him up, and he fell right back onto the runway.
Oh.
But now,
because you'd almost expect
Was the flight
if
delayed?
you jump in one side, you're coming out the other side liquid.
that's a good question, KGB.
yeah, so
I don't
he
know.
jumped in the wrong side to be sucked through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I don't think
so.
there's a correct way to go
I was
into
going
a
to say
jet
there's
engine.
there's no side to correct
I don't
side
think
to
there's
jump
a
in.
No, but there's a side that you would get pulled through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So he
guess.
jumped in the other side.
So all of a sudden, because I watched
this
that
matter?
video, and I did watch it a couple of times, I actually wanted Amy to watch it. She said no. Whatever.
You said you
Go
can
figure.
get a dead raccoon from under the porch, no problem, but you can't watch a man jump into an
Yeah.
airplane.
Yes.
Dead raccoon, gross. Man chopped up into mini pieces from a jet engine, A-OK.
Dan said, "There's no smell. It's just a video."
Anyway,
touche.
and by the way, it wasn't a raccoon; it was a possum. I'm told.
Oh.
I remember now. Much better.
It's hard
Oh,
to
yeah,
tell when
that's
they're that
great.
disintegrated.
Oh, God.
So now all of a sudden on my my Twitter feed, I got all these like
Oh,
death videos showing up.
in the For You section,
Did you click on it?
your algo has been
you
compromised.
triggered the algorithm.
You probably
Yeah.
did you watch 1,000 Ways to Die when that show was on?
No, I didn't. And I don't know. I clicked on the guy jumping into the airplane engine because what a weird way to try to,
So
but-
the algorithm was like, "Oh, you're sick. Here's some other."
Oh yeah, but you know what I've noticed though, is that all these videos. See, now I've been watching them, and it's weird, I know. But in the few
I
that
can't look away from those videos. I watch them all.
right,
Yeah.
and so in the few that I've watched, one of the things that I've noticed is a lot of the people that meet their untimely demise, they're dumb. Like they've done stupid stuff. There's one, and again, I wanted Amy to watch it. She wouldn't watch it.
They have something in common.
Yeah.
Listen, who says romance is dead in my house? It's like I'm trying to get Amy to watch these videos. But there's one guy who he's got headphones on, and he's on a bus, and he's a white dude, and he's like clearly thinks that he's like Eminem or something.
Yeah.
And he's like John, it's some other dude, and he's singing like whatever rap song it is, and the other guy on the bus is looking at him like, "Are you serious?" Because the guy's like really challenging him with these lyrics, and the guy's clearly into the lyrics, and the other guy's like, "Are you serious right now?" And so, cut to It's not funny. Cut to the next scene where the dude is sitting there bleeding
Oh, no.
after being stabbed.
Oh,
I'm just telling you. No, all I'm
Wait,
saying
which
is
guy got stabbed? The rapper or the one that was
the
being
rapper,
rapped at?
the guy that was being an idiot. In other words, and it's like, I hope he didn't die, but it's just like, dude, what did you think would happen? You're on like like a bus in Philadelphia, and you're aggressively rapping at some other dude, and the guy's just like, you don't want to do this, man. And then cut to the next scene, and he's sitting there bleeding. I hope he's okay. But
Cut to the next scene like it's a movie.
yeah, and the thing is, I think a lot of these, they do stupid stuff. That's what another one guy jumps into, like really torrential, like it's like a, what do you call it? Where there's water, it's not a bay, but it's like a dam kind of a thing. Guy jumps into a dam, and the water is like full of like currents and everything. And then he's like, I can't get out. It's like, well, no crap, Sherlock.
This is a very dark
people?
segment.
The common denominator here is dumb.
Yes. Anyway, so I got to fix my algorithm.
This took a turn.
Just look at pet videos.
yeah.
Look at what
Yeah.
videos?
Pet videos.
Yeah.
Just
Pet
search for
video.
like puppies
Oh.
and like a bunch of
Charlie
them
bit
and
my
retweet
finger.
them.
Just Charlie bit my finger, and you're good to go.
Do you know what happened? Like whenever Amy walks out to I'm always sitting on the back porch, and I walk out and I'm laughing at stuff, and she's like, Are you watching husky videos again?
What?
I am obsessed with husky videos. Like obsessed with husky videos. Because they talk, right? Huskies
The
talk.
yin and the yang of Mandus. It's either going to be sheer destruction and death or an adorable husky.
They're adorbs. It's like, there's a husky and it's roar, roar, roar. And they're talking. And I start laughing. I just laugh hysterically at these huskies. And I don't want one because I like to be able to turn them off like on the videos. I don't want to have to live with one because
Have to deal
Bandit
with
is
one.
enough. Good Lord, man.
To turn them off.
Trying to sleep last night with stupid Bandit.
I'll take a husky if there's an off switch.
It did sound a bit much, didn't it? Yeah, whatever.
All right, so moral of the story, no more Tina's burritos unless it's the vegetarian option.
Yes, that's exactly right. Because you don't want any of that scrap stuff that's left in.
Oh, is this a hair? Oh.
Ew.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
I think I taste a bone.
that's just gross.
I think we should probably move on.
We should have moved on 10 minutes ago.
Joan, what's coming up?
President Trump is making a move on Russia. And the report that just dealt a blow to the idea